All right, let's go to that one. Okay, so I'm currently in prep for my weekly Legends of the Wulin game, which is in an unusual position for how I tend to run games. There's some really strong, interesting characters going on, but don't want to zoom in on them. But they're all doing such different things that there's times I think that the complexity of the system gets in the way a little bit. It actually worked pretty well when I'd had even like even 4 to 5 players, but they were all kind of on the same page. And in games where everything runs faster, that's actually not a problem. But our thing is, we haven't really been utilizing the system as much as we could have. I think primarily because, well, I mean, the combat is the biggest part of it. They haven't really played around with the secret art system as much to get to the point where they're as comfortable with using those, which I think actually, let's go ahead and make a note. One thing I want to do, let's make this fit. Um, uh, Monday's goals, some things that I would like to do on Monday. Get them to Pally, play with the not lore sheets, secret arts more, because some of those will be useful with some of the things that they're wanting to do. And it can get them on that part of it, because the combat takes a long time in Legends of the Wulin. It's the nature of it. So, hello, folks. Feel free to say hey if you are viewing, and maybe some people from the Gauntlet, possibly some that I've got on Twitter. So our 3 main characters are Lone Sparrow's, our 3 characters, Lone Sparrow's Wake, Pale Orchid, and Plum Blossom, all of which are martial art characters. They're members of the Wuxia. They have, at this point, Plum Blossom is the unknown son of, the Emperor, and we've delved a little bit into stuff with that. Pale Orchid has got her evil uncle's sword. Grievous Distance was the name of her uncle. The sword is possibly going to corrupt her, which is cool. And Lone Sparrow's Wake is interested in what's going on with this Eagle Talon succession. So that's the thing that he is sort of more into. So looking at the campaign lore sheets, we've not kind of gone back and added some stuff for a little bit. I'm thinking what's going to be best for me to run it and to kind of try to find what's actually happening in this game, because right now it's 3 very separate games, which is usually kind of fine. But I do like to use the system, and we're not really doing that. Oh, I should put a note up there. Nah, I won't do that. I ain't gonna worry about it. So he wants the Eye of Silver Talon. So I think if things were moving a little bit faster, I could bring in Gallant Eagle, who's the head of the Eagle Talons. I could bring in his brother, or his son, because Lone Sparrow is in love with the daughter. But because I want things to start moving a little bit faster in some respects, particularly with his story, which is not as tied in, but he kind of wants to be around in these other places. Player-wise, he wants to be able to do cool things, and in this one, a lot of that cool things is stuff with speed. He wants to be super fast and show how absolutely fast he is. So what I think we may want to do is give him a reason to be able to get someplace quickly. So I think there's a couple things we can actually look at while the PDF is taking a weirdly long time to load. So, have them play a little bit more with the secret arts. I even want to have the conflict in the capital come to... Oh, let's spell that right. Come to Magnificent Inc. And start putting together the Street Fest with the supine chair, which is the other pleasure house. So what notes I took last time while we were playing, because it's been 2 weeks. Morphle Ghost wants to make inroads with the Phoenix. Master Flawless is interested in helping Lone Sparrow. Needs help with the upcoming disputes with the Fallen Leaves, which is Pale Orchid. And Hooded Cobra saw Pale Orchid. And they actually did not end up having the... or building the confrontation, because one of my players decided they wanted to play nice instead of doing all the evil stuff, which was cool. Well, not evil, but just, you know, being a player. I'm going to move these over. Kind of stuff that happened last time. Last game. So I'm going to start breaking things down in ways I normally don't. Because for me, the regular flow of the game isn't quite working because they are at such odds, and those 3 stories don't really connect. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set those stories aside a little bit until they use lore sheets to bring stuff specifically in, and then I will work some more of that in. I think I had also created some lore sheets for... Let's make these up. So eventually, a noble / administration ally. Let's go 4 points for that. -2. They are in a low position. 2 points. A noble administration enemy. These, by the way, lore sheets are incredibly cool, something that the players can use to help swing things the way they want to go. So, Q gets drawn into the falling leaves situation. I think 3 points probably for that. 2 for that. 2 for that. 5. And -2 if they align with the supine chair. Fire Doctrine gets impatient because they are waiting for Lone Sparrow to help them. Third Hammer Duke. We'll say 6. Breaks for the Blue Flames. And 4, because it creates more conflict. Goes for the traditional. So we should meet Third Hammer Duke, because I want him to be important. So the Eagle Talons, those are the ones in the city. So I think one thing I'm going to need, I believe Shenzhou is the city. Magnificent Shaozu, maybe? Shaozu the city? Yeah. I think this is it. City of Canals, which I think Magnificent Inc. is somewhat based on. So I think what I want is a map of Shaozu. Yeah, it's freaking gorgeous. Yeah, this is it. Because I think there should at some point be a race against time for the players. I wish there was an old style. Because, yeah, you've got the canals and such going through. So maybe, yeah, if I find old maps of it. Suzhou, China. I'm going to try ancient maps. Let's see what we got. Oh. Because I can use that to sort of... That's recent. 1229. This might be what I'm looking for. I think bridges, ancient maps. Let me see what we got. So if I can get something from like a 1229 map of, well, I should probably just search for that. That's the stone rubbing. Same thing. Okay, I don't want Library of Congress. That looks perfect. If I could find it without... if I could find it without the... That would be nice. Okay. Okay, can I find that without? No, first of all, let's go ahead and download it. Open. Okay. Save as. Okay. So I have a map. If I could find that without the big mark around it, that would be fantastic. Let's undo that close tab. I think that's still too recent. No, it's Nanking. That's shows it, but it's still too modern. The ancient... Oh, here it is without. Forbidden City. A lot of information on it. I think some of that's actually in the book or in the other one. Oh, that's a very cool picture. Okay, so that might be the best one I'm going to find that's not too modern. Wait, where was it? There we go. It's still, compared to the one I found, it's like a black and white negative of it. I really thought previous. So I don't want the black and white negative version. I that was the one I looked at. Okay, can I find the same thing? What's this? Okay, I've got the photo negative versions, but I don't have the one that I want. How old are these? I don't usually spend much time looking for stuff like that. Oops. I think it's going to be kind of hilarious if the only ones I can find also have that damn circle. Which, I mean, you know, guess it's going to happen. Okay, let's help search for it this way. There's that circle. I am not. Yep, there's that. Wait. Alright, that may have done what I needed. Alright, I think that's what I want. Okay, let's see if I find a cleaner version of that. So the hand drawn is perfect. Okay. All right. So I think what I can start to do is, so Spectre with no name and die by, let us hook them into, not quite yet, Falling Leaf Society, Third Hammer Duke. Oops, this is the wrong one. These are all, oh, Falling Leaf Society, think of the Blue Flame. So we can work them into it, but what I need are the Courtesans of the Auspicious Petal, Head of the Supine Couch, Jen Kang, what's happening there? I have other Eagle Talons. Oh, I do not as of yet. Okay. I'll have to find a picture for Hawk. Not Hawk. So I want to skip straight to bringing her in because I need to get Lone Sparrow more directly involved, and that's going to help. Because if I can have her around the Auspicious Petal, that actually gives me more for him to do. There, while actually at the pedal. Oh, what if she's... Okay. I got ideas. Alright, let's see. So Silver Talon is essentially Gallant Eagle's right-hand man. One of the things that they are looking into is that the competition to become the new head of the Eagle Talons, which is essentially a mercenary member of the Wulin. They are a protection company. So, does he have a specific... I think he just chose silver. Is Eagle Talons below this? Nope, they will be above. We're looking for silver. Okay, so Silver Talon is likely dying. The poison he's taken is progressing. Zoma. So there'll be battles happening there that they're pretty much aware all these things sort of have to happen before the coup really gets going. So a couple possibilities here. Let's bullet point. And let's knock that back one. Hide in the auspicious petal. He's had some time to be in the city. They don't want other people to know as of yet. Maybe she wants to sneak into the, right now we'll call it the royal sector of the city. Find out where allegiances lie. Maybe Lone Sparrow ends up going with her. At some point, information back to the auspicious petal or someone else quickly, so that we could have a with Lone Sparrow outrunning folks would be cool. Maybe so I want to give him a chance to do that because that will be cool. Okay. So good. And I think so. We have that going on with Lone Sparrow, and then I think Plum Blossom and Pale Orchid. Okay, make a note. This would be Lone Sparrow's story. Plum Blossom and Pale Orchid. Continue working on the upcoming festival. We can have let's bullet point it because they're fun and they make it easier to just double check some stuff. Something I learned being a teacher, making lots of tests. If you got a whole bunch of questions, just go through and I just write tests in each of them, and that way I can kind of keep going without having to like redo the thing. Go up there and re-hit bullet points. So they're going to need permits, graft from officials, local crime. Oh, that could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah, because I think in particular with the local crime lords, there's a decent chance they'll send Pale Orchid on to deal with that. Spats between members of the two pleasure houses. Sheja. So I can develop some Sheja. Which I think will be fun. Because I have a feeling those two could actually become friends. And I was really originally expecting that to be some enemies going on. This also might allow We could bring in Tatchin and Sparrow. Yeah, Hailbai and House Shorin. So she's working there as well. Okay. Honestly, I thought there was going to be probably a lot more I needed to do because I've been trying to build all three of these different stories. I can focus on one of the individual stories in a session. This might actually be the way to unlock this one because my standard ways of working don't really fit with how this campaign is going. And in some respects, if we were doing a different system, this was in Smallville, it would help a lot because in that case, everything is so interconnected that the characters have so much going on that when you tug on one string, like 5 different people, and usually like at least 2-player characters are sort of activated. But here, because they're coming into some very separate stories, they don't really tie into each other quite so much yet. We've put them together at the Auspicious Petal, and very quickly I'm like, you know what, having them work at a pleasure house is not going to be nearly as interesting as giving them their own pleasure house, letting them be in charge because they are awesome Wulin. They also did some amazing roles and stuff and role-playing with Dabai at the original one. So yeah, so I think this will help make things happen a little more in the way that I prefer to have games run. So instead of having to set a prep for the session like I have been doing, what I can do instead is essentially set everything up and they'll be able to sort of take it from there. So if we've got permits that they might have to do, graft from local officials, crime lords, spat between the members of the 2 pleasure houses. Duh. I also need to bring in talking to, I'm going to call them nobility. I need to check that in like GURPS China or something. Talking to the nobility administrators specifically about what they're going to do. I want them to meet some of the people who will be on either side of the upcoming conflict. Because I think that could also be a way that they eventually, Lone Sparrow kind of gets in some people that they might want to get a hold of, get some rumblings as to what's going to go down. We'll start off. They're starting to form camps, not quite armed yet, but security is being upgraded. So, also that can let's do a couple background things here. So some stuff that may happen in the background while we're bringing them in. So Lone Sparrow, Silver Talon comes to him to get Zhao Ma in there. So let's get more Wulin background, stuff that's happening this session. More Wulin are arriving in Magnificent Inc. A lot more guards and soldiers, classes at the universities are being restricted. Essentially, they know something is up. There's noticeable drop in Street traffic. Oh, that's also another thing that can happen. Just going down. Let's make a note here. Lights are getting slower. People aren't going out as much. We'll call them muggings. They're muggings. So armed groups for those two main factions. Are intimidating themselves. Do come. It's always in groups. Start to be with people aren't really kind of going to the city, so we can have it where there's just sort of a pall being sent over the city. So that gives us a number of things the players can actually get into. Let me refill my drink. Okay, so I think this will be cool. So when they do come, it's always in groups. Let's go ahead, bring up roll 20. Oh, good lord, what? Oh, I think I put that in the just in the folder itself. Okay, so let's. This will do. I don't know whether there's other grids automatic. No grid. Okay. Yeah, I put it in the Legends of Wulin folder. Okay, which one of these do I want to use? Oh, put them both in here maybe and see which ones I like better once it's in there. Okay. So there's that one. And then this one. Let's do this. Let's 40. Oh. Let's make these roughly same size. I kind of like this one better, even though it's got that. You know what? Fuck it. That can be where we put. Or does one of them show? Oh yeah, that becomes really okay. So we use this one. What are the districts? Okay, so thankfully, GURPS Makes excellent books that are useful. Government and Justice. I think that will probably be what I'm going to look at. So more looking at how their government is set up. It's a little bit different than ours. I think this is essentially supposed to be taking place during the Second Han Dynasty, I think. Okay, let's take a look. I'll make some notes here. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Government. Basically run the secret police. Only the emperor's conscience prevents him from condemning a nagging censor to some hideous death. However, the protection is usually sufficient. Honest emperors respect their censors. They feel ashamed if one threatens to resign, and utterly mortified if he commits suicide. Most emperors would overrule any other ministers for the censor. The emperor rejects a moralist advice. He may lose the mandate of heaven and face revolution. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, civil service. You have got imperial ministers, page 55. Provinces have governors, circuits, intendants, prefectures, prefects, commanderies, and counties, magistrates. So, magistrates. Let's do that. Nope, nope, don't make it big. Each village, 3 years. I just need to move it there. That's what I want. Prefect. Oh. Suchao. Right, yeah, that's the current name for it. Okay, so these are kind of nice things to have. I'll double check through some of this. So as far as the government stuff goes, so the censor, I think bringing in the secret police could be interesting. Drives in town. Secret police, basically trying to capture as many of the families, relatives of loyalists. What they're trying to do is essentially stop a war from happening. So, it would be nice to find out what each of those things are. Districts of Suzhou. Oh, that's not useful. Might as well just make it up. So I think clearly. Actually, what do I have as far as tokens? Frozen North, probably not going to help. Let's open that up more. Empty tokens pack. This might actually be useful. City Planner. Okay, yeah, I can use some of these. So let's make that small. Put that here. I don't think that might how that looks. We put administrative district. That might work actually. What's that gonna look like? Oh. Oh, that's right. I hit the wrong thing. No tent. Let's do that again. Tint color. Transparent. That's what I want. Let's move that to the map layer. That's what I want. What happens if I tint this black? Okay, nope, doesn't affect the thing. Okay. So we can put administrative district. They have a thing here for universities. I'll do that. Actually, that doesn't quite like. Let's put those here. This will be merchant district over there. can put this here. We'll say right here. Laborers District. And how about essentially nobility? I will just right now call it the wealthy district. Okay, it gives us at least a little bit of an idea as far as things go. You can kind of see yeah, these are all the canals. We'll put those here so it's near the administrative district, not far from the merchants. Okay, I think we've got ourselves a place now. Good. I made that a lot bigger than I need to. That is fine, however. Now let's do this. Let's go whoop and layer map. Okay. I'll make a note here. That is Magnificent Ink. Let's call that one the landing page. That'll be where everything sort of starts. Let's move that there. Magnificent Ink here. We haven't used Thrashing Minister. Okay. I do believe that will actually have me pretty well prepped. I'll come up with some names. I might look up more about the Chinese censors, but beyond that, I think I'm good. Have yourself a good one.